Hey everyone, it's Cheryl from Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds. We just finished our first week of our dinosaur theme, and we will be spending this next week with dinosaurs as well. And of course, as I said before, children of this age, 2 and 3-year-olds, they love dinosaur activities. And every time that we have dinosaurs, anything dinosaur in our classroom, they always gravitate to it. So when they walked into the classroom and saw dinosaurs all over the room, they were quite excited. So before I jump into what we have been doing for our dinosaur theme, I wanted to backtrack a little bit and show you our garden sun catchers. Now our theme before this was gardening. And for those of you who get my newsletters, you know that my father passed away last week. And so my life has been, as you can imagine, it's been hard this last week, and so luckily my director has stepped in and she helped set up the classroom, and some things that I wanted to get done just didn't get done. And you know what? That's okay. The children don't know. They did not care that we did garden sun catchers during our dinosaur theme. So I just went with it. We had already started it the week prior, so I wanted to finish it, but I just wanted to show you how these turned out. These are just paper plates that I cut the centers out of them. It was a two-step process. And then they painted around the paper plate, and I wanted them to use neon colors so that they would really show off the azaleas that we found out in our garden. So when we've been going outside, we've been noticing that a lot of the petals from our azaleas have been falling to the ground. And I also had seeds left over from when we were doing our seed activity during our gardening theme. So I just simply took some sticky paper, contact paper, I put it on one side of the paper plate. They stuck the seeds and the azaleas and some assorted leaves onto the sticky paper, and then I just pressed another piece of contact paper on top. So now everything is sealed, and then I just hung them in the window. So here's one that has a lot of seeds in it and one azalea. So they turned out so cute, and I'm in the process of writing a post about it on my website. I'll make sure to, it'll be on my homepage when it's done. It should be done fairly shortly so you can see how these are made. But again, I love sun catchers in the classroom because they bring so much color in, and it's another fun way to display the students' work. So wanted to first let you see that we did get our sun catchers done, even though it was during our dinosaur theme. And as for our dinosaur theme, some of the things that we have been doing is we've had dinosaurs on our train table, and for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that we use our train table for a lot more than just trains. So we set it up, we had our dinosaur little area rug, we put it on the base of the train table, and then we got some arch blocks, and we got some big dinosaurs, and we put them on there. And that was the area that everybody wanted to be at when they came into the classroom. And I have to say, for our 2-year-olds, the nice, big, chunky dinosaurs are so much fun for them. They're easy for them to hold and carry around. So I'm glad that we already had a collection of those. And another thing is we also had some dinosaurs on our light table, the dinosaur skeletons actually. They loved those as well. So let me show you a few other things that we've done. Dinosaur footprints. Now this is an oldie that I've done for years and years. It's not my idea. You go on Pinterest and you find this all over. But I love it because it's still process art, but they get to use the dinosaurs to dip into the paint and make tracks on the paper. And then if you also been following me for a while, you know that I like to take things one more step, and I gave them paintbrushes because I wanted to show them another way they could get paint on their feet, was to brush the paint onto their feet and then stamp it onto the paper. So it was one more way to do fine motor. Not all the children wanted to do that. That was fine. It was an option. And then some of the children then took it one more step, and they started painting the entire dinosaur, which, you know, three-dimensional art is awesome. It offers them another, instead of just painting on a flat surface, they're thinking about all the different angles. They loved it, and then we just put it in a tub, and we rinsed them off, and we were finished. So there it is. It's just a nice, fun process art activity, but if you add those second 2 little steps, and you're doing a little bit more fine motor as well. And then another thing that we're going to be doing this coming week, and this was actually on our easel. This is a template that is a freebie on my website. I'll drop a link in the description. I hung these on our easel, and the children used watercolors and they just painted them. And they're really loving to paint together. So a couple of the children might have worked on one dinosaur at a time. I now am going to take this for the upcoming week, and we're going to take paper tubes, and you can just take a paper towel, tube like this and cut it. You can either, cut it in half or in thirds, how long you want it to be. And then they're just going to stamp the paper tube into the paint, and they're just gonna go around like this. So just something fun. Another option is you could take a block, something with some kind of a pattern on it. This is a Duplo block, dip it into paint, stamp all over. Again, adding some process art, but it is a dinosaur shape. So those are a couple of art activities there that you can do. Another thing that I have, of course, and I mentioned this in my May planning video, is I have my dinosaur sticks. So what we've been doing with these is I hand each child a dinosaur. They actually pick what color they want. And then during circle time, I'll turn on one of the songs that's in my dinosaur playlist. I'll drop a link to that playlist in the video description. A favorite is Lori Berkner's We Are the Dinosaurs, of course, but we have lots of other favorites too. And they were holding these, and we were marching around holding our dinosaurs up, and we were also noticing what color dinosaurs everyone has. And also in this packet, this freebie, also comes with some matching dinosaur eggs. So you could take this one step farther, and you can hold up one of the eggs, and you can say, oh, who has the yellow dinosaur? Then they can match the egg to it. So in that free printable, you have the dinosaurs and you have the eggs. I have another prop, a freebie on my website that has 10 different dinosaurs. And I made this when I was doing virtual teaching last spring, and I was reading 10 Little Dinosaurs. So I have 10 little different dinosaurs here, and I just held up the dinosaurs as we read through the story. So this is something else that you are welcome to do as well. And if you don't have the book 10 Little Dinosaurs, you can use this with another dinosaur book or another dinosaur song. And another hit this week, I found this is one of my newest books on Amazon, and it's called Listen and Learn Dinosaurs. And if your toddlers and preschoolers are anything like mine, they absolutely love the books where when you press on the circle, you can hear what different sounds they make. Now you can imagine what a hit this was. Their favorite one was the one that goes in the ocean. They loved that. So then what I did was, when I was excusing the children to go outside or to the gym, they got to pick which one they wanted, and then they would just press it, and then they would go line up. So this is a fun book. I'll drop a link in the description for this. And I love it, of course, because it's a board book, so it's sturdy. We also had these dinosaur footprints that we cut out and laminated, and we taped them to our classroom floor. And this led from our circle time area to the door that we go to when we go outside. So we were following these all week as we were going from one spot to another, and which went along with our dinosaur footprints that we made with the paint. And I wanted to show you what one of the other classrooms did. If you don't want to do individual, or in addition to doing the individual tracks, one of my neighbor teachers, she did one where they just got a big sheet of paper, and all the children worked together to make dinosaur tracks on one big piece of paper. So that is another option. And then in our dramatic play area, my director, because she set up my classroom because I wasn't here last week, she and her assistant thought of doing a little pizzeria, an Italian restaurant in the dramatic play area. And you're thinking, okay, what is the connection between dinosaurs and Italian food? But you know what? They brought their dinosaurs over to the our restaurant, and they sat them down, and we had this little slice and serve pizza with the Velcro that makes them stick together and pull apart, and they were cutting off slices of pizza, and we were putting them on for the dinosaurs, which then got us into some conversations as we were walking to and from the gym on what kind of pizza do dinosaurs like, all these fun ways to get their verbal skills going as we're creating little conversations. Even our 2-year-olds were talking about, my dinosaur likes cheese pizza, my dinosaur likes pepperoni pizza. So all of our dinosaurs just kind of ended up over there as we were all at the little Italian restaurant. And then when we went outside, we decided to hide some of our big dinosaurs before the children went out there. And we told the children we were going to go on a dinosaur hunt. Now, had I been more present last week, I would have been thinking about making little binoculars for the children to use. Usually I do that, but because of real life and what happened, we didn't have the binoculars that they made, but we used our hands, works, and they walked around and they looked to find the dinosaurs that were hidden outside, and then they put them all into a basket when they found them, and then they wanted to hide them again and find them. Then we had chalk, and they were drawing circles and putting the dinosaurs inside the circles, and they were lining up on the walkway. I tell you, we could probably have dinosaurs in our classroom year-round, inside, outside. They would be so happy with that. So again, as I said, we're just going to kind of continue this week, doing a little bit more with our dinosaur template, and doing more with our songs, and doing more with our dinosaur props. And then from there, we move into our ocean and beach theme, and then we're done with school for the year. It's just crazy. It feels like we just got here. So I will come back next week, and I will share with you how we're going to be getting ready for that theme before we end our school year. Make sure that you are following Teaching 2 and 3-year-olds on YouTube. Click the subscribe button, click the bell icon so that every time I publish a new video, you get notice. And I will be back soon to share another video showing what our classroom is set up for our beach and ocean theme. Thanks for watching.